I think trying new things and pushing yourself is where you kind of like feel alive.
I feel like there's that lie that it's too late, you know, where if like you don't start it as a kid, like it's too late to do it because you're already an adult, which I hate that lie, and let's go against it. Stepping out of my comfort zone, definitely with this. Like, I didn't know the guy. It could have ended up being like really bad. Like, there are these guys that started coming out of the bushes with their shotguns. I've been waiting like weeks and weeks to open this. I want to get your reaction, Kaitlyn.
Oh, that's sick.
Hi everyone, welcome to this video. I am joined by my friend Kaitlyn, a celebrity guest.
Oh my gosh, not a celebrity.
A celebrity guest. For my fellow artists, I'm hoping this will be of inspiration to all of you. I'm going to be unboxing a really cool piece of art that I've been super excited to actually see. It's been a few weeks since I've had it. It's just been in my room for a long time because I was waiting for the perfect moment to open it. We're going to do that today. My name is Donna. I am 24. I am from Chicago, Illinois, but I moved here for college to California. So,
AKA the LaurDIY.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I've been compared to LaurDIY many times.
Yeah.
I think when I wear makeup, when I do like the cat eye,
Yeah,
I'll put a picture of her right here. I'm sure people know her. I just looked at her channel. She has like 8 million subscribers.
dude, if you can just get in on that, like if people like think you're her, you know,
I'm her lookalike, guys.
You might get some millions.
I'll take
We
4
won't even
million.
take all of them.
You know, 4 million would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm at a solid like 300.
Dude, it's better than me. Hi, I'm Kaitlyn. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, originally.
Canada.
I also moved to California, and that is where I live now.
Yeah.
We were never at school at the same time. I had just graduated when you started.
Actually, the first time we met in person was at a photo shoot. I contacted Kaitlyn because she's an amazing photographer, and we did a photo shoot together, and from there, we ended up just getting coffee and talking more, and now we're friends, which is cool.
It's good.
Yeah. So we have our good old iPad here. We're going to go over some ideas as we normally do in these videos. Oh my gosh.
We spill matcha. Matcha alert.
Pause.
Do the like beep.
Okay, so we're going to be going into some topics here, but I first want to start off with this quote because this relates to just coming out of your comfort zone. I can like pinpoint the moment when I heard it.
Oh, that's so cool.
The world offers you comfort, but you are not made for comfort. You're made for greatness. And that's from Pope Benedict XVI.
That's a great quote.
Yeah, I love that one so much. And I remember hearing that actually when I was in high school. One of the girls was just giving a talk on greatness and just like coming out of your comfort zone. And I heard that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like the most epic quote ever. Yeah. And so that really inspired me to want to serve and do something out of the normal.
Where did you do missionary work? That's so cool.
I was mostly in the Midwest.
Okay.
And then we also went up as far as like the UP in Michigan.
Okay.
So it was like wilderness up there.
Yeah.
Like there were deer like in people's front yards. We went all the way down south to Louisiana.
Oh wow.
So this was when I was 18 and 19.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And that was like a huge change in my life because it was the first time I really left home. I did music training first, so that was like a smaller
musician?
group. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
I do.
Dude,
well,
you never wrote this up.
I don't really talk about it. It's interesting. But I mean, I don't do it.
Like what you sing?
I can.
Play an instrument?
All right, so I play guitar.
Okay.
That's what it is. So,
dude.
Yeah.
What the heck? You should do that more.
Yeah, it's super fun.
That's so fun.
So
like, would you ever do like an open mic or something?
Potentially.
Dude, you should come out.
I would love to do like a chill coffee house sort of thing. Yeah, I'll think about it.
Oh my gosh.
I need to practice and set.
This is right along the lines.
Yeah.
Get into your comfort zone. I'm gonna make her do this.
Oh my gosh, you'll hold me to it.
Yeah.
It was interesting because a lot of the retreats I went on, a lot of the kids were my age. I was just freshly out of high school. Yeah. We did retreats for a lot of seniors. So it was weird because it's like, if they know your age, it's like they don't really respect you because there's not much of a gap there. So I definitely learned how to lay down the law. Yeah, and then also I had to public speak a lot. We were each assigned talks to do, and so mine was actually like strength in numbers, which how you build authentic friendships, God-centered friendships, and all that. So it became more natural because at first it was just like I memorized it. It's so weird. It's like confidence really is a muscle, or public speaking too, because now it's like I don't know if I could do it as like confidently because I just haven't been in practice. But when I was like at my game, the top of my game with it was like so easy to do. It was just a lot. You just interacted a lot with just different people. Like you'd stay in a different host home every night. And so it was fun, but it was also really draining, especially if you're not an extrovert.
Yeah. Are you an extrovert?
No.
Dang.
I had a near-death experience, actually. I don't know if I ever told you. So this is actually in Louisiana, in the deep south. So this was at night, and we were in a very like rural area. Basically, after a retreat, we would pack our stuff up in our 15-passenger van. We had a trailer on the back, just with our suitcases. We lived out of a suitcase, basically. So we had to find our host home that night. And so we used the GPS, and we were like driving around these dirt roads, and it kept rerouting because it was so rural that like something was wrong with like the Wi-Fi and stuff. And so we ended up going down this, it was like 30 minutes later.
Oh gosh.
We ended up going down this road. It said dead end or something, but we just kept going. And it was actually called Memory Lane. Like that was the name of the street. And so we went down this dirt road, and there's a bunch of just foliage, a bunch of trees and bushes, and then we started to see these gates, and we're like, okay, we just gotta do a U-turn or something to get out of here. And it was really hard because the van had the trailer, so it's like you couldn't really just turn around super easily to get out. But there are these guys that started coming out of the bushes with their shotguns.
Oh my gosh.
And like these redneck guys, some of them like didn't have their shirts on, and like they were just like holding in their guns.
Oh my god.
And it was like something was obviously off with them.
Yeah.
Like just like something about them, like you just have this like feeling too that like this isn't good. And well, later we learned that they were drug dealers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I think they also did, like, they were in with the law. It was really corrupt down there, like the police officers of all the money. It took a while for us to get out of that situation because the leader, he was like off. He was really
So they came up to your car and like started talking to you, kind of thing?
So they just surrounded our van.
Oh my gosh.
And then
was everyone like dying of
yeah.
panic?
So the
gosh.
girls were having panic attacks. I was in the very back of the van.
Oh my gosh.
I was chilling. I was like, it takes me a long time to process a lot of things, so it just didn't hit me like, okay, I could possibly die right now. The guys on our team ended up just like talking to them. We worked it out. We're like, we're just missionaries. We're lost. And so they took pity on us, and they helped us get out of there. But it took a long time because Louisiana, a lot of the times it's like rainy and like it's really muddy, and so we could have gotten stuck too. So it was like, it was a crazy.
With your trailer too.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, so that was, I'd say that's my near-death experience, because
So crazy.
yeah, it could have been pretty bad. I did want to ask you about photography, but when did you decide to do that more professionally instead of it just being a hobby?
Eventually, I think my aunt was the first person to ever hire me. She was like, I'm having a family reunion. She was like, can you come and take pictures and I'll pay you? And I was like, okay. Like,
ooh, your first gig?
I was like, wait, this is awesome. Like, this is so easy. I love to do this. And she's going to pay me. Like, how great. So this is something that makes people happy, and I love to do it, and I can get paid. I was like, this is the best of all worlds.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but then when I was 17, these girls I was working with were dancers. They were like, you should like make an Instagram for like your photography, make a website. And I was like, oh, that's like a good idea. So because of their encouragement, I figured out how to make a website, and I started like another Instagram. Like I was like, I'm just gonna put my photography there, because I would just post my photography like for fun, like alongside whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
But I was like, maybe I should like make it more like official.
How old are you at this point?
I was like 16.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to college in Canada for like 2 years. And when I was there, I got a work study position as like the school's photographer. And then there's where I met this alumni of the school who did weddings. He shot weddings, and he was like, hey, I hear you're like are a photographer. He's like, do you want to like come second shoot weddings with me?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how that started. So I learned more about wedding photography from him. And then from then I was kind of taking it more seriously and like trying to post about it and like actually get like business.
So he's like your first mentor?
Yes.
That's so cool.
And he ended up shooting my wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like, so it was like a cool full circle moment. And I moved out to California. I just kept it up kind of on the side as I was going to school.
Yeah.
And all that ever since I graduated as well. So
nice.
Yeah.
Was it kind of nerve-wracking moving from Canada to the States? Especially like California?
Yeah, it was. I'd never visited California before I moved here. Yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking. I didn't really know anyone. It was really hard when I first moved here. At the time, I was super into this YouTube channel, Yes Theory. Their whole thing is like seek discomfort.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you probably love their channel, but no, they literally have a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like their merch brand is Seek Discomfort. That's like
cool.
the name.
Okay.
And I was like super into them. I was super into like the idea of like doing uncomfortable things and like the fact that I was, so you talked about a quote that you like, but like a quote at the time that I was really into was like, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done before.
Ooh,
and I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna do that, because I was like, I want to make movies and I want to like be an artist and like do these things. It's like, this is something I want, and it's like on the other side of discomfort. And so I was like excited at the challenge of it. My parents, they knew I that was what I really loved.
Yeah.
But they were like a bit more hesitant about me moving to the US, mostly because of how expensive school is in the US. And honestly, they were right. But at the time, I honestly just felt like such a strong calling, like from God, to like move out here. And I didn't really know why, and I just like really trusted it. Like I just like really felt like I needed to go. And now I think like it's because like I met my husband out here, and like that's like probably the main reason.
And that never would have happened if you didn't move out here. I also felt like God was calling me to do something with art. I just didn't know what it was exactly. And also it was interesting how I chose to do graphic design, because it was such a God moment. I was praying just about that during my entire time just being a missionary. That was one of the reasons why I was a missionary, or doing a gap year, because I just didn't know what I wanted to study. It was after, when I was doing community college, I went to this, it was like a praise and worship night or something at a church. Specifically that day, I was saying like, God, please just like be super clear with me, like what you want me to do, where you want me to go. And so I actually talked to the priest just like after the event and all that, and he just randomly brought up that he was a graphic designer before he was like a priest. So I've never met a priest that was a graphic designer. It was such like a God moment. It was super clear.
An artistic calling can be from God, that you can have a mission, bring good things into the world, and that's like enough of a reason to pursue it.
Ooh, yeah.
And it was kind of like a light bulb moment. That's what I almost like wanted to hear. But I like kind of was hiding behind the thought of like, no, I'm doing this because, like, like, I'm going to be successful and, like, make money. And, like, because to other people, because a lot of, like, adults, like, it's, like, even your mom wanting you to be a nurse. Like, it's kind of motivated by stability, stable income, like, all this stuff, like, a clear career path. And I think I was kind of falling prey to that cultural thought process, where that's like the best thing about a job is the stability it gives you and the money it gives you. It is a good thing that we can make money doing this, because we do need to eat and we do need to make money. But it just resonated with me so much to hear that the main reason to do it, and a very good reason, and probably the greatest reason to do it, is because like God is calling you to like say something to the world.
And if it is your calling, it's like he's gonna provide, you know. It's like if it's your calling, he's not gonna just leave you stranded. You know?
And like the best art, in my opinion, is made by people pursuing it for the reason of like telling the truth rather than for money. Like if you make something purely to make an art piece to make money off it, it's never going to be as good as somebody that made it because they had something they badly needed to say. I just think that was something I learned coming here, that
it's beautiful.
Kind of like freed me from like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a real thing that I can like feel okay pursuing and saying, and proudly saying that I could pursue it.
That's awesome.
It's cool.
So with photography, you have to interact with a lot of people, right? What was the first time you had working with professional models? Because I feel like that's just a huge step.
I was friends with a photographer, and she told me about this meetup group in San Diego. And so a bunch of photographers and a bunch of models met up in like a random place in the city. They like had an Instagram, and they would just like announce, hey, we're meeting here on this day. And there was no money involved. It was just like for fun. And like the models be in a big group, and you'd like be like, oh, are you a model? Okay, do you want to like shoot together for a bit? And you'd shoot together for like 10 minutes, and then you would like go to another model, and like that model would go talk to another photographer.
That's so cool.
And it was so much fun. It was. I think that was probably it, because a lot of those people there were actually professional models. And I think that helped a lot, because it was so low stakes. Like, nobody was paying me to do it. I didn't have to deliver these to anybody. Like, I gave them to the models after, just as like, hey, thanks for modeling. Like, here are the photos. But it was
just practicing.
Yeah, it was just practice. And I think actually, now that I think about it, that really was great for me, because it gave me confidence. Like, I could look at those photos and be like, wow, these are like much like better than things I'd done before, because models really elevate like your photos a lot. And so but it was so low stakes, so that was like an amazing group. I think that's probably the first time I worked with models. And then I think that was it. It was like I did it a couple times where there was no stakes, and then you just get better and you just get reps in.
Practice makes perfect,
honestly. And it helps. I'm an extrovert. Like I love talking to people anyway, and to me it's like you can be nervous at the beginning, but once you like get in the flow of it,
it comes more natural.
It comes more natural. Honestly, I think it's easier to work with models because they know what they're doing. There can be an intimidation factor a little bit, but now that I've done it enough, I realize like also might have an intimidation factor working with someone they've never worked with before. So to me, it's honestly like I'm so used to shooting people that never model or like
posing is so hard.
Yeah, posing people that are stiff and awkward is way harder.
That's so true.
And I do that all the time with like engagement shoots or like weddings. I'm like posing people that are uncomfortable, and so that to me is more of a challenge. Is like convincing, like for example,
hyping
like a straight white dude who's just there for his engagement photos to like relax and like loosen up and like pose a bit. That's like way harder than getting a professional model who does this all the time to like strike a pose for you. So honestly, if you think about it that way, like
it saves time because you don't have to like.
They're so good. Like I hardly like. I actually work way more when I'm shooting.
That's awesome.
I try to like joke as much as I can with them so that they're like laughing and like just feeling like okay, I can trust you. Okay, like we're in good hands. So honestly, like people are like, oh, models are intimidating. I'm like, no, like random people you don't know and that don't pose and are
that
awkward
makes so much
are
sense.
like way harder. So
that's so funny because something I did want to talk about was the first time we did the photo shoot together. And so this is actually before I met Kaitlyn in person, but I followed you on Instagram for a while or something, and I saw your work, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so talented.
Thank you.
I was at a point in my life where I really just wanted to get out of my comfort zone. I was going through a hard time, and I really just wanted the boost of confidence and I just wanted to push myself to do something I've never done. And what better way is there than by doing like a photo shoot? And so I reached out to Kaitlyn one day, and we set up this photo shoot in La Jolla at this beautiful beach. The pictures turned out so cool. Like I still look at them and I'm like, oh my gosh, the colors are so pretty. I just love them so much.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So I'll put some pictures right here. I wanted to bring that up because that was one of the a pinpoint moment in my life when I broke out of my comfort zone. Got a boost of confidence just by doing that, and that's kind of the thing. Like you're not gonna grow unless you're open to getting out of your comfort zone, doing something that you usually don't do. And also like failure is a huge one. Like you have to be open to failing and things not going the way you want them to go.
I don't like failing. But
are you a perfectionist, would you say?
Yes, totally. I'm like very type A, like and it's like bad. Like it you have to like be aware of it to then consciously like fight it and go against it because you're right, like you cannot grow inside your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is by definition like where you aren't growing.
And modeling was so hard, or just like posing, it was just like the most uncomfortable thing because I've never done it before. And so props to the models like for just doing those poses so easily. But as like we did the photo shoot, how long was it? It was like probably
an hour.
We both got more comfortable. I feel like, especially me, just like by posing, and it was cool, and there were people around, so that made it a little harder. But
I think was it you when we showed up and there were so many people there? Which was I felt so bad because I binged that beach many times, and I remember I tried to pick somewhere where I knew it was Donna's first time. I was like, we'll go there. Like last time I was here,
we'll
there was
challenge
like nobody.
her.
No, there was like nobody here. And then the one day we go, there was like 30 photographers like posing people because it was like a beautiful sunset.
We're like trying to be original.
And I was like, okay, shoot, like dang.
It's so funny.
But the location worked beautifully because you kind of had like a Ariel, Little Mermaid like theme going on, and it was like perfect. There was like cliffs and water.
That was the first time I wore that dress too. I got it from Plato's Closet.
Oh really?
Yeah, because this is so beautiful. Wait, Talise. Talise. Or how do you say it?
Talise.
Yeah. Talise. For all you Canadians out there. I don't know if I have any Canadian
subscribers.
I will. I will after today. But I had it in my closet for like a year. And I knew that was the dress for that moment. I knew it.
That's awesome. Breaking away from being a perfectionist, honestly, is just the practice of like letting certain things go. I think
letting go
which
of
is
control.
just a constant practice. Like I think if you're naturally a perfectionist, it'll never go away. But you just have to decide like what is worth my time stressing about and what is not. And there are many things that we probably stress about that are not. And I know I do that all the time.
I feel like with editing, that's one of those things where if you are a perfectionist, it's really hard to like settle on on the photo that you want to like give someone. So a couple things. Well, one, a lot of photographers give way less photos than I do. So some photographers, like you'll shoot with them for an hour and they're like, you get 20 photos, and they like pick 20 photos to give you. Like a lot of them will do that, and that's fine. That's just like their business model. But I'm more of the mindset of like, I don't know how you look at yourself sometimes. Like some people, like I'm like, when you smile like this,
it looks really nice, but some people are like, I hate when I smile like that.
Yeah, that
and
is
I'd rather have a
interesting.
smile like where I show my teeth or something like that.
The pictures you posted of me on your photography account, I never would have picked those to be like
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I'm looking at it. I know that I'm looking at it from a totally different eye than you are.
Yeah, which is really cool.
And
beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
exactly. Yeah. Like I'm looking at it probably from like a composition standpoint, a
Yeah.
lighting standpoint, and you're looking at it from like this is me and my face, and like this is how I want my face to like represented or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's totally normal. So I like to give people the options because I know that I don't see it the way they're gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so funny to me. Like I'll look at a photo, you know, that I think is like they look stunning, and they're like, oh, I hate my hair does that, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like I don't like I never would have noticed that. So anyway, so that's kind of that helps me because it's not like I have to make some crazy decision. I'm like, I'm gonna give you all the best ones, and there's gonna be a variety, and you're gonna get to pick like what ones you like and get to like. I mean, you get to keep them all, but like which ones they're probably gonna post is different, like you said, than I would. And then as far as like deciding on editing, I think also it's just like reps, doing it a lot. I was editing actually for a client last night, and it was like, okay, so this is so random, but I'm like going out of my comfort zone. Actually, I'm trying to learn how to play the drums right now.
You are? Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
We have a drum kit at our apartment because my husband's a musician.
Does he play? Yeah.
So my husband's been teaching me how to play the drums. We've had like 2 lessons, but it's just so funny because it's so foreign to me, and he, you know, it's like when I do something wrong, he knows instantly like what I did. Like it's so intuitive to him. He's like, oh, you missed this, or you were a second too early, a second too late. And I'm like, okay, like I didn't even know, you know, like I didn't even notice. But he has that ear that's so trained.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can't wait to be there where I can just like hear it.
Yeah.
But then I was like editing the photos, and I had this moment of like, oh, it's so cool because as soon as I look at a photo and it's off, I know exactly what it is that's off.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, like I can't play the drums yet, but I was like, but I know exactly what to do with this photo. And like it was kind of like a cool moment where I appreciated kind of just how many hours I've put into the skill of like I can tell right away, whereas he would look at that and be like, look fine to me, you know, or whatever. And I'm like, no, like this highlight is slightly too bright or whatever.
That's that is really cool.
So it's just everyone kind of gets that by practice, and we can't do it with everything, but you know, you pick the things you wanted to put that many hours into it.
And you're so talented too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah.
I think you just gotta find something you love, honestly.
Yeah.
It never gets old for me.
That kind of reminds me of just having like the interior disposition of a child in a way where it's like you're always open to growing, like the growth mindset, starting from scratch with something like drums. That's so cool that you're trying to learn that, like especially as an adult, because I feel like there's that lie that it's too late, you know, where if like you don't start it as a kid, like it's too late to do it because you're already an adult, which I hate that lie, and let's go against it because martial arts is one of those things that I've always wanted to do, but as a high schooler, it's like I feel like I was too old already because it was all a bunch of kids that I would see in like the karate studios, and
they've been doing it since they were like 5.
Exactly. So that always scared me from doing it. Actually, when I graduated college.
That's so cool. What martial art do you do?
I do boxing.
No way.
And it's been so fun. There is that lie that you're too old to, you know, do something, but it's not true.
Yeah, that's actually so true. Also, you can feel it in your brain. Like, when I'm learning drums, I'm like, I feel that I'm squeezing my brain in a way that, like, it hasn't been worked in so long. Like,
such a good feeling.
Learning a new skill, and it's, like, frustrating, you know? It hurts, like you mess up a ton of times. But, I had that appreciation of, like, I know this is so good for just, like...
the neural connections in your brain.
Yeah, like even, like, not to make it, like, depressing, they say, like, doing stuff like that, like, especially, like, in elderly people, like, that can, like, prevent you from, like, getting dementia and like things like that, where it's like you should be using your brain, like, because it's like a muscle. It's like if you don't use your muscles, like you're gonna get super weak and frail, and
it's like it's gonna get easier and easier as you do it. I felt that way definitely with boxing, like when you do combos or whatever.
It's so cool.
Like I do classes, and I remember the first time doing the class, it was the most nerve-wracking thing because it looks like everyone knows what they're doing. I don't think everyone does. And it's kind of like dance, where dancers can pick up on like dances they've never seen before super easily, like as professionals, which is really cool because you just build those neural connections. So it's the same with boxing. Like I grew to the point where I didn't know anything, and I would just like punch the bag really bad. I didn't have any form, but now I'm at a point where I've been doing it for almost a year now, and I can do combos super easily. Like whenever the coach says like do a jab, cross, hook, whatever. It's like
so cool.
without having to like ask him again, like, what did you say?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Boxing is such a cool skill.
Yeah.
Honestly, like when I was little, the coolest people were like people that play the drums, people that did
yeah.
boxing.
Yeah.
Was like one, or like people that could play guitar. I always thought were really cool.
Yeah.
But boxing was one. Like I love boxing movies.
Ooh.
Have you
okay.
seen like any boxing movies? Like Creed, Rocky.
Oh, I've seen
like,
Creed.
Warrior. Okay.
Yeah, I watched it on the plane, and that also inspired me
Dude,
to like.
every time I watch it, I'm like, I'm gonna beat someone up, and then, but I like totally can't. Like I could never.
You can come to a class
Dude,
if you
I should
want.
come.
Yeah,
you
can do a free class.
Zone. Yeah, that would be so fun. I always just think boxing, like they're so
beat someone
cool.
up.
Yeah, like, no, well,
I'll
you know
teach
when
you.
you watch, like, yeah, please. Any like sport movie, I'm always like, let's go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then you like go to the gym and you're like, this sucks way more than it looks
Yeah.
like it does in the movie.
That's why I do classes, because
Yeah.
you have that social pressure to do really well, and like you just can't give up if you're in a group.
Yeah,
you know, it's not gonna look good.
true.
Yeah, so
That's good.
I found that that's really motivating.
I've started like running, which like I hated running. Like I
Running's
swore
hard.
it off.
Yeah,
Totally. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I know it's good for me.
discipline.
And this would be pushing me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so, and it helps because my husband's like a big runner, and so
Oh, okay. He's a running buddy now.
yeah, well, he has like tons. He like goes
Oh.
to like running clubs and stuff. So he like runs with other people a lot.
Okay.
Like this morning, he was like, oh, he just like woke up at like 6 a.m. and ran 12 miles like with this
12
guy.
miles.
Yeah.
So he's
like
legit.
a runner. Yeah, he's like
legit.
gonna do like a marathon and a half marathon this year.
Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. But to me, I'm like running that much is disgusting. But no, more like I'm just like jealous that you can do that. I think it was over the summer or something. I was like, no, I should run. Like this is like I was just like I work out a lot, and I was like, but
It's
I
not
never
enough.
did cardio.
It's not
No,
enough.
I just never did cardio. Like I totally just like skipped cardio.
Okay.
And then it was like if I did anything, like if I ran up the stairs, I'm like, out of
Yeah.
breath, and it's like, what are you working out for if you can't even run up?
Yeah,
the
you gotta
stairs?
build your stamina so you can play
Exactly.
those drums for longer.
Yeah, and beat people up. No, but I was like, I gotta run. So I ran like a mile,
Okay.
1 mile with my husband, and I was like, I want to die. Like this is so awful. Like I get why people like to run. I still don't like. It's still every time I don't want to go. Like every single time before I run, I'm like, I dread this and I don't want to do it. But then after it's done, it's like the best feeling. So I'm pushing myself more. So I did that one. I'm doing a 10K in April.
Whoa.
And I'm like terrified. Like
Where is
I
that
have
gonna
never
be?
run a 10K. It's in San Diego. It's like, do you know
Oh.
where Fiesta Island is? Oh
No.
my gosh.
Fiesta Island.
Dude,
I wanna
Fiesta
be on
Island
Fiesta
is
Island.
Fiesta Island. Oh my gosh, this shit. Okay, you should go to Fiesta Island, like with your roommates or something. It's so fun. It's like
It's not. Isn't it an actual island?
like
I
near
don't think I've
SeaWorld.
Oh, I've been to SeaWorld. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it's close to SeaWorld. So the island, you can drive all the way around. It's like a one-way road, and you have to like loop around.
Nice.
And there's all this sand, so people pull their cars basically right up to the water, like on the sand.
Nice.
So what we do in the summers is we'll go there, put like a tent up, and we get like floaties, and we like anchor them to the sand, and then you just like drink and like float out on these floaties like in the water.
That's
it's
so
fun.
fun.
But
Okay.
yeah, the race is like around the island.
It's not a triathlon where you have to swim.
No,
That's good.
that's the
That would
next
be-
level. I haven't unlocked
Yeah.
yet, but
After going to SeaWorld, you can go to Fiesta Island.
Dude,
Like,
yeah, I'm trying to keep pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So when I moved here, that was like I was super fired up about that kind of thing.
yeah.
And then I actually, like, I had a couple, like, rough years, like, from 2020 to 2023. But, like, really tough for me. Went through a lot of, like, emotional ups and downs. Like, a lot of stuff happened in my life. And I think because of that, I got very, like, in self-preservation mode. Like, I just was, like, not doing anything out of my comfort zone because just existing at that point was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think I lost a bit of, like, my spark because I feel like, I think trying new things and pushing yourself is where you kind of like feel alive and feel like yourself and are proud of yourself and are exploring and pushing to new like heights. But for a while I kind of had to like not had to stop, but I felt like I couldn't do it. And so this year, coming into this year and like the end of last year was really like I was kind of starting to feel like myself again. I love like New Year's resolutions and like, reflecting on the year and stuff. And so I was very much like I'm over this stuff that I've been through. Like I was like I need to like get my spark back. Like I need to like keep pushing myself. So this year was definitely like that's a focus of mine is just to like keep getting out of my comfort zone and yeah, running was one of those things. So.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Running and drumming and...
Drumming, teaching.
Oh, yeah, teaching!
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What an accomplishment,
Thank
though. Like,
you.
teaching
It
at
still
a
terrifies
university.
me. Yeah.
You're just so good, though. Like, everyone loves that class.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. I'm auditing a class with Kaitlyn. She's my teacher, my professor.
Yeah.
But it's never too late to learn something new. People go back to college. I'm auditing a class.
Yeah.
Perks of working at a university.
Yeah.
For sure.
So cool.
Journaling is so nice too because you can see your growth from a certain point.
So true.
You know, sometimes I go back in my journal entries and I see what I wrote and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've grown so much from that point.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like I just doing like an examination of conscience every night is so helpful. It really just puts life into perspective. It helps you to realize, oh, like I could have done better in these areas of my life. Like talking to this person, I could have been more, I don't know, like whatever it is. Like I could have been kinder in this situation. So yeah, like thinking about your day and like how you interact with people, that helps a lot with just being more in tune with yourself and how to be better.
I basically try to fill a journal like every year. So it's kind of cool because I can kind of have a catalog of the last like 5 years.
That is awesome.
I've looked back at some of those like entries when it was like a dark place and I'm just like, whoa, you were like not happy. And,
yeah.
But it's also like, I'm so glad I did document it because now that I'm in a better place, like I can look at that and be like, look, we made it. Like,
yeah,
we
being
made
proud
it.
of yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I do have the art piece back there.
Okay,
that
yeah.
I do.
Tell us about
oh my
this
gosh.
art piece.
Okay, well, I'll put this guy's Instagram right here. So basically, I found out about him through his brother, who's a famous YouTuber in New York. His brother's girlfriend also does like vlogging and stuff.
Okay.
So this guy, he's an artist based in San Diego, and he does like resin pieces, acrylic, super cool art.
Yeah.
Kasey Wakasa, he is a super talented artist. And so pretty much one day on his story, he said, hey guys, I typically don't do this sort of thing, but I want to have some private art lessons. I have a bunch of extra canvases. I don't know, I want to use up. So if you're interested, DM me and then we can set up a time to like do art. Cool. So I ended up just going and just do art because I just haven't done any art in a while. Like with painting, like I never paint. So I thought this was a cool opportunity to learn how to do that. And resin is so beautiful, like resin paintings. Stepping out of my comfort zone definitely with this one. Like I didn't know the guy. He's based in San Diego, so I basically drove to his studio. I was super nervous going into it because in my mind he's like a celebrity. Yeah, so I went there and I met him out. He like came outside to like say hi and like bring me to the studio. And it was just like so surreal, like that whole experience. I don't know, something in my mind just like unlocked. It was just like, oh my gosh, like it was like a 3-hour session. It wasn't supposed to be that long, but it just took me a while to like do everything. I kept asking like, am I doing this right? Because I was just so nervous. But yeah, now we have the artwork in the back that I'm gonna unbox today.
I'm so excited to see it.
Oh man.
Like fired it or something or dried it?
So basically,
do you want me to turn it?
Sure. Okay, so he had to wait for it to dry, basically. And so, before putting the resin on it, so he did the resin at some point. But I've been waiting like weeks and weeks to open this. Actually, I want to get your reaction, Kaitlyn.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, he had to go on a trip, but he delivered it, and now I have it. So we're gonna open it. I totally forgot what it looks like.
Really? That's so fun.
Okay, so
I'm super fun.
back open this side. Okay. Actually, could you hold this on your lap? It's really like hot. Sorry. Okay, here we go. And I want to say something really quick about this. So it's really cool because it's like a heart shape. I was going through a breakup, and so doing this, like creating a new heart is very symbolic.
That's so cool.
Yeah. If you have a broken heart, I don't know if I'm gonna put this in, but if you're going through a hard time, sometimes a nice thing to do is to create a new heart, a beautiful heart. And so this is what we did.
Yes,
here we go.
I'm so excited. It's like Christmas.
Oh my gosh. It's all bubble wrap.
That's so cool.
A bubble wrap heart.
So fun.
Oh gosh, you used a lot of tape. This is legit wrapping. Thank you, Kasey, if you're watching this. It's wrapped
so loud.
again.
Oh my gosh. He's really teasing us.
Rip the microphone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
this is very loud ASMR.
I
can smell the paint.
We're panting.
Yeah, this is the last. This is the last one.
Donna,
Donna,
heart.
my new heart. So, here we go now. Oh, that's so cool! Oh my god.
Wow.
That's insane.
Oh, that is so cool.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's sick.
This is so cool. I totally forgot what it looked like.
Oh my god. Donna, that's so cool. Okay, wait, tell us how you like made it. Like, what was the process?
That's so cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was a 3-hour process.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
show the camera this. There we
Oh,
go.
that's so cool. And the paint drips are so cool.
That's so cool. Alright, I was so nervous about this part because I accidentally cross-hatched the paint, and you told me specifically not to do that.
Okay.
And I totally forgot, so I did it. But okay, I'll go through the process.
Yeah.
That's insane. What the heck? We first started off with like a wooden canvas, which is basically just this heart.
Yeah.
He does like laser cutting
Okay.
at his place, so it was cool because I originally had a smaller heart, but he had an extra like a bigger one, and no one claimed it, so he said, "You want the bigger one?" Like, heck yeah.
That's awesome.
So I picked colors, and I was going more for like a white with some red, but it like ended up being mostly like primarily red. So we started off by like putting dots of white, and then we used like a cup and just poured different colors on, and then we basically tilted it so that you have like this effect.
The street.
And let's see here. He ended up adding the stencil on, I guess just to give it more of something, and it also goes with this white, so I feel like it balances the piece pretty nicely. But I'm so impressed. This is so cool.
What's crazy? That's a 3-hour process too. And so then this resin on top was what he did afterwards, or that's
so the nice like clear coating is like the resin he did.
nice.
Once like the acrylic dried.
Yeah,
But this is so cool.
that's awesome. How cool.
What the heck?
You gotta hang it up.
I'm
And it
gonna
has
hang it
nails to hang it up.
Yeah.
as well. That's
Whoa.
sick.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna hang this up. This is so cool. It's so cool because
It represents so much to you. Like,
yeah, it really does.
you tried something new to make it. Got your new heart.
Yeah, this
That's
is so
awesome.
cool. I'm gonna hold on
Heck
to this.
yeah.
Okay. Get out of your comfort zone, guys. It's worth it.
That's awesome.
This is so cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We really just encourage you to get out of your comfort zone. Confidence is a muscle. You kind of just have to keep working it out. I honestly like to think of confidence also as like the little victories you have in life, because that makes you more and more confident. Be okay with failure, because that's a normal part of life. Have the growth mindset.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it
That's
till
what
you
I
make it.
say. Just act like you're confident, and you'll eventually.
That actually works.
It does. I'm serious. I'm not even joking.
Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Comment below what topic you want Donna to talk about in her car.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're gonna have another surprise guest on the next episode.
If this video gets 300 likes, I'll go kickboxing with Donna.
That would be cool. Or you would have to.
And you have to go running with me.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be
or
fun.
both.
I want to see you perform drums.
Oh my gosh, I can play like one thing right now. I'm
We
just
could
like.
perform together at a coffee house.
Oh my gosh.
We do drums. I'll
If
do
this
guitar.
video gets 1,000 likes, Donna and I will sign up and go perform at a coffee.
open mic event.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out.
It's fine. A bug got in our painting.
He's part of the art.